She done traded in the docks for kicker boots, her safety pin t-shirts for man-wear suits. Her hair's grown out and is piled up high. She only shows her tattoos one at a time. She ain't ashamed of the way that she was. She hears old Hank and she can't get enough. Punk rock records gathering dust. Little Ramona's gone hillbilly nuts. 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 Well, you see in her dress clothes almost everywhere. She's hardly ever in the shopping mall. She acts just as tough as she always did. She just looks a little country, that's all. She got him and Lou and Patti Smith on a 90-minute cassette. Well, how can you go to the end of the world when you ain't ever been there yet? She done traded in the docks for kicker boots, her safety pin t-shirt for man-wear suits. Her hair's grown out and is piled up high. She only shows her tattoos one at a time. She ain't ashamed of the way that she was.
Those is kind of a sample, but if you know, you can have, if you intersect one shrub and it's real small, you know, if it looks like this, a shrub that goes along the line, the maximum width isn't very big. What you're trying to get is the area, I guess.
Yeah, but
well, what
this says this kind of amorphous shape says that there's a lot of area in the plot that's not shrub.
And there is, that's for sure.
So I think you just want to sample. My bet is no. I said my piece.
Yeah, but how many times are you actually going to see one of those maybe out of
every time?
Every time.
Exactly.
Because that's also perpendicular. What happened to that mathematical training?
Well, what are you trying to say? I mean, what are you trying to say?
I think it's because you're sampling along those transects as a proxy for the whole area that you use this. But
what you use? Which one are you saying, Josh? This one or
this one?
This one?
The total number of individuals encountered and total number of intersect lengths. I.
Where do you come from? Blue endless highway.
Here comes the hole in the wall. Here comes the hole in the wall, gang. Heading up to the grids for a good afternoon of work. There's our fearless leader, Dave.
Watching the old smoke roll, I'm looking out the rearview mirror for that highway patrol. For that highway patrol.
Yeah, another drop.
So we're up to 8.
All but
we got
2.
8 counts for canopy cover.
Look there. Do you see the 3?
Oh, yeah. Well,
and actually, you can feel the. Well,
that's a rush, eh?
Yeah.
But if you feel down below,
okay, you can feel
it's triangular. It's 3-sided.
So that's litter and duff straight.
Yeah, what's the difference between litter and duff?
Litter is not decomposed. Duff is decomposed.
What do you know?
Okay, so first of all, we need numbers of penstements. So just
I make a wish for a potato.
So it's going to be
1 and 1.
1 and 1, right?
so percent of penstements.
You know I brought my trumpet in.
Yeah, this is pushing a small stone, but we'll call it small stone.
So this is the Carnegie cabin where I spent 2 glorious summers of my youth, and it was the first group of people I'd ever been around who could identify every bird from a chip and identify every plant they walked by, every mammal they ever saw. And it's the first place I really met people that were real naturalists, and it really inspired me.
I started here in 1975 with a crew studying chipmunks, and this was the bunkhouse right here. You can see the old platforms, the plywood platforms. We'd put those down in the spring or in the early summer when we got there, and we'd store food, bulk food back there in the chipmunk-proof, area back there, screened off. And then the cabin, which is right up 50 meters up the slope there, was where we cooked and compiled data. But after that chipmunk study, this became a bird population study of the Harvey Monroe Hall natural area. And I spent 5 summers doing that in college and shortly after college. And I got to know this valley really like the back of my hand, and it was a very special place. And that's why we came back here 30 years later, and we're redoing vegetation plots that we did 30 years ago.
It was really a garage for the tractor or truck or whatever the old guys came in the 30s or 40s. But when we were here in the late 70s, early 80s, people slept in there. Some of us had our little niches right in amongst the hummocks here, and this is where we slept. So Tommy, was that your sleeping spot?
This is my spot right here.
So did you stake it out, or did everybody just know it was yours?
Everybody just kind of had their little spot and went into it.
Well, it looks kind of bumpy.
You know, it was just right. I don't know. It's bumpier now, I think. Maybe I'm just older.
Yeah. So you can start her. Okay, Ruby, this is K6 point on grid A1. Now we're looking for trees in the southeast, which is going to southwest is going to be that way. We're looking for a lodgepole pine, distance of 25 feet. It was a Class B.
I'm too young to remember Elvis.
I don't know.
It goes a little something like this.
And then in the southeast, which is going to be...
Treat me mean and cruel, but love me. Take my faithful heart, tear it all apart, but love me. Won't you love me? I'm down on my knees. I'm begging you, darling, please, don't leave me. Well, I'll be sad and blue, crying out for you, dear, only I would be still, just
maybe the stake isn't in the right place. Okay, anyway, northeast, which will be behind me. Lodgepole pine, 22 feet distance, height of 15 feet. Maybe that one right there.
That's too close.
That one's too close.
But the one right behind you.
And in the northwest, white bark pine, 18 feet, 2 trunks. How about that one right there?
I don't think that's 18 feet.
Yeah, well, we can measure it.
I think that the stake has to be that way because those are all too close and those are all too far.
Right. Okay, what do you say we get out the tape?
Okay.
Across the other one. So it is a ways up, but it's real easy then to walk over.
You know, starts of
I mean, either way, otherwise you'd have to
like redwood forward. How come my kids are eating and I'm not?
I'm doing a documentary on the project. So, from your point of view, how did it go today?
Well, I got everything marked on the A grids, so that's good.
A2 and A3?
Yeah.
Oh, you are trucking.
They're all the way to the top.
All right, cool.
What else?
So, good night's sleep last night, so, I wasn't quite a bunch of basket cases. A little bit of a basket case, but not quite.
And Rick, are you ready for more tomorrow?
Oh, heck yeah.
You're going to take off and weenie out on us, are you?
No way.